Okay then. Hello. And welcome. Hi, Wendy. Sorry, bloke. I've got really bad hay fever. My nose has been leaking everywhere. I was trying to clear myself up a little bit before we get beginning. Hey, Naveed, how's it going, man? Yeah, my eyes, my nose, water coming out of everywhere. Allergies. I'll try not to sniff down the microphone. I think I'm almost clear of it now. There may be a few sneezing attacks going on, but I will try my best to remain normal. You have to excuse my glasses. I got a load of blue reflection off it, but I have new glasses, which eases your eyes when you're looking at a screen. But in the reflection, I get these blue eyes, and I look like a White Walker from Game of Thrones. Okay, Naveed. Catch you later, bro. Yeah, I'll probably upload the rest of the stream to YouTube at the end of the day. Right, let's get comfortable. I don't have anything to talk about. Don't have much to talk about today. It's a very quiet one. Andrew Morton. Hey, Andrew. See you, Naveed. Take it easy, bro. Okay. I know Wendy had something. How you doing, Andrew? How's things going? You enjoy your trip away? Apart from the flight home, I see. Keep this one a bit shorter today because I know a lot of people probably want to go and watch the FA Cup final later. That's why I brought it forward an hour. Clever thinking, eh? Not with it today. Excuse me. Yikes. Let's have a look then. What should we go into? I'm not even watching a royal wedding. Everybody keeps going, oh, are you excited for the royal wedding? I was like, nah. I don't care. I'm sorry. I really don't care. Yeah, good on him. He's getting married, the Ginger Prince, but I'm certainly not going to watch it. But yeah, I suppose if you're looking at it from outside of the UK, all the royalty is kind of different, I suppose, eh? Different. Especially if you come from a country who doesn't have royalty, you're not used to that sort of thing. I suppose it can be a bit crazy. Oh, is that? Oh no, that's cool. Window capture. Nice. Okay. I had a question from Wendy. Just trying to find some questions. Don't know. We'll figure it out. Sam, what are your thoughts on infertility with bigger continental birds? I don't find them so fertile as the more traditional Rosicollis. Don't know, really. Possible. I don't really know of a problem. I don't hear many people having problems with fertility. Shani, hey, how's it going, man? What you do? You having problems with all of them, Andrew, or certain pairs, or? Ah, oh, crap. 1 minute, guys. Sorry. I've got to get a fresh battery for this. 1 moment. And I'm back. Sorry about that. The lights are about to go out on my... The battery was about to go out on my lights. Infertility with bigger birds. I don't know. It could be. One thing you might find, Andrew, Mr. Morton, when the birds get bigger, I get it with some of my fat birds. I've got some fatties. They eat a lot. Chunky birds. They simply can't make a good connection when they're mating. Difficult to get a good connection because of the thicker feathering around the vent. May have to do what some of them do with the budgies, remove feathers around the vent area of the female to get a better connection. With a couple of my my big porky females, I remove the feathers. I pluck a few feathers around her butt, so when it comes to doing the deed, they can make a better connection. But I do that even with my... Yeah, I've got like... let's have a look. I got birds like... Let's see if I can find her. And this is with personatas, you know what I mean? So with the standard Rosicollis, it's highly likely you could encounter that problem. No, my internet's slow. For Facebook's slow. Something's slow. Come on, Facebook, don't give up on me now. Alright. Come back. Streamlabs, come back. What was I going to do now? It's bird cam. Oh, this bird here. Hello, hi Thailand. How you doing, guys? Nice of you to stop by. Yeah, Andrew, this bird here, which you should see now, yeah. Yeah, she's a bit of a fatty, bum bum. So I often will take a few feathers. I don't go mad. I don't cut them with scissors. I literally will just pluck a few just around her vent in order to let her get a better connection when mating with a male. And I only have to do that with about 3 or 4 of my birds. The rest of them are fine. It's not really a problem. But with the fat birds, definitely. So try it. Try giving them a pluck and seeing if you get better fertility with the bigger birds then. Have you done it before? Have you treated the feathers before, Andrew, or do you leave them normally? Because that's another thing I do when I'm preparing birds, especially heavier birds. A bird like this, blooming hell, she probably weighs 20 grams more than a lot of my other female birds. But I also trim the nails I trim the nails on the birds before I give them a nest box. Because there's nothing worse when, if you've got a bit of a clumsy female, sometimes she pierces the eggs with her nails. So I will often trim the nails on the birds as well. And I've got one now, actually. And I'm only mentioning that because my eggs are hatching now. And I've just looked upstairs. And one of my good green pairs, the female, she's a bit of a dope. The eggs are often flung around the nest. She's not a very... she doesn't have much finesse for a hen. And I've looked and she's pierced 2 of the eggs. Tiny little nail holes in the eggs. And that pisses me off, especially when it's closer towards the... especially when it's closer towards the end when they're due to hatch, and she pierces them, and if it happens overnight, before you even see it, it's too late then. The egg's dehydrated, it's dried out, and the chick is dead. So, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So I generally, the plump birds, I will clean the vent area. I definitely don't want to cut the feathers, I'll just pluck them out. And I trim the nails before they go in the nest, and it can help prevent pierced eggs and increase fertility. Hi everyone, how's it going? Puerto Rico, hello. Who else have we got? Chris, hi, how's it going? Nelson, hello, hello. I don't know, I don't cut the feathers. I mean, you see it with a lot of the budgie breeders. They literally go full blown, like they're giving the bird a haircut, and they cut the feathers off. But I just pluck them out, because around the vent, especially with the Agapornis, the feathers are not really big, they're quite small. You know, when you pluck them for DNA, they're not exactly huge feathers. So I just pluck a few of them out. Literally just a ring around the vent to open it up a bit more. I had it with... actually, yeah, in that picture, the blue female in the top left there as well. She was also a bit of a fatty. And I was only getting 1, maybe 2 fertile eggs. And I trimmed her up last year and got 6 young from her. So, with the fat birds, you've got to do that. It's quite important. Hey, Leanne, hi, how's it going? What else is that? Yeah, that's it, really. Trimming the birds. And especially, I give my birds a lot of egg food. And birds like this green one in the picture here, and actually that's a sister, the blue one in the top corner. They eat a lot of egg food, and they really pile the weight on when breeding. But then I get really big chicks from them, really big young, because they pack the protein into the young, and the young grow super fast. But yeah, can't stop a fat bird. I'd rather have a fat bird making babies than a bird that hasn't got enough meat and protein in her. Hi from India. Hi, how you doing? Nice to see you here. Hello. Hello, hello. Have to excuse me. Need to drink. Yeah, fatty birds. What else have I got? Got my first young. First young come out yesterday or the day before, I do believe. And yeah, I'm big. Everyone loves big and fatty. But it's hard. But that's also why I like to separate my seed mixes as well. I generally have a seed mix for resting birds and for the fat birds. And I try to avoid the fatty and high protein seeds for birds like her. Otherwise, she gets really, really, really fat. But yeah, she eats a lot. Onto these young birds. Interesting one here. I had to take one of these young birds out the egg yesterday, or the day before. Day before it would have been. Number 2 had hatched. Number 1, he'd started pipping the egg. And this is why I number the eggs. This is why I find it quite important to number the eggs. Number 2 had hatched. This is on the bottom picture. I'm sorry, I keep pointing at the freaking screen again. This is at the bottom picture here. Number 2 had hatched and number 1 hadn't, and I'd seen he'd started to pip the egg, but he hadn't come out. And then I noticed that grey wash over the egg. You know, like when the eggs are dead in shell, they start to go grey. I noticed it was going a bit grey, and I could hear the chick. I could hear him inside, but not really. Beep, beep. He was just not a lot of energy. So I gave it 12 hours to see, and then I come back, and there was no extra pipping on the egg, and the egg was quite a thick shell as well. And I could hear the chicken side then. So I figured, is he in trouble? Is he struggling to get through the shell? And I had to make a decision. And now, if you open that shell before the chick has absorbed the yolk sac, it's game over. It's not going to survive. So I really didn't want to open it early. And I was like, maybe he needs a few more hours and then he'll hatch. So I gave it a few more hours. But then, how long can you wait? Oops, sorry. Microphone. How long can you wait? If you leave it too long, the chick will die in the egg. He'll dehydrate, dry out, suffocates, whatever, dead in shell. So I decided to open it up. I opened the shell up, and indeed the chick had absorbed the yolk sac, and the membrane was dry around the chick, and he couldn't get out the egg. And luckily I saved him, and that was 2-3 days ago now, and now he's doing good, growing really well. So yeah, that's, people ask me why I put the numbers on the eggs. That's exactly why I do it. You can see which egg, when they're due to hatch, and if there's a problem, you can always help the chick get out of the shell, I suppose. Get out the shell. Hello. A lot of people, I'll quickly have a little talk about this as well. A lot of people ask me about what fresh food to feed the birds. Anybody who has followed my website, in fact, it may still be on there now. Let's have a look. Is it still on there? Let's have a look. A lot of people ask me about this. Right, if you look on my website, this is my website, agapornis-personatas.com. What I feed. Yeah, this is what I used to do with my fresh foods, right? With my vegetables. I used to chop them all up. God, I'd spend hours doing it. Chop them all up into little pieces. Carrots, broccoli, cabbages, everything. Broccoli, God, you can't imagine how long it used to take me to do this. Bit of brown rice, peas, chili peppers, paprika, bell peppers, garlic, honey. Mix it all together, and I used to make bags and then freeze it. Edwin, hi, how's it going? So yeah, I used to freeze the frozen food like this. My birds, most of them ate it. Not a lot. So people say, how can I get my birds to eat the fresh foods? Well, the truth is, lovebirds, yeah, they destroy everything. They literally, what do they like to do? They like to destroy things. You put a plant or a branch or some leaves into your cage or your aviary, they're going to destroy it. So the way I got my birds started, I used big pieces of broccoli, literally the whole broccoli, or I'd cut it in half, hang it from the cage. And what's the bird's instant reaction? He's like, oh, look, a little small tree, let's go and destroy it. So they sit there and they destroy the crap out of it, and then they're like, oh, tastes quite nice. And then they start eating it. So I don't piss about with tiny little vegetables anymore. I give them big pieces, and then all the bird will do is try to demolish it, and when it tries to demolish it, it tastes it, eats it. Happy days. You can see there the pretty big pieces of celery. And chili peppers. My birds love chili peppers. They love green, red chilies, everything. Coriander. I gave them everything. Hi guys, how's it going? Hello. And people are often unsure what vegetables and that you can feed the birds, but yeah, more or less everything. Just don't give them avocado, and I think more or less after that you're okay. But I give them a lot of herbs as well. I grow a lot of my own herbs in the garden, and when I trim them down, I often give it to the birds. But yeah, if you can't get your birds to eat vegetables, try giving them big pieces. The bigger the better, and then they'll destroy it. So That's about the normal size. A big chunk of carrot like that. They destroy that, and they like to eat that very much. Big piece of broccoli. Works well. What else have we got then? Wendy wanted to know about with the international naming agreements. What the asterisks mean. So, let me see if I can explain that. Let me find my pages. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, here we are. I hang whole ears of corn. Yeah, that's the best way. That's the best way. They're notorious birds for destroying things, you know what I mean? So, give them something big. They'll try to destroy it, and then they're like, oh, hang on a minute. This tastes good. And then they eat it. I mean, my birds, if I put seeds and vegetables in the cage, my birds will literally eat the vegetables first. They absolutely love it so much. So Wendy asked about with the international names what the asterisk means, and by that I mean, where's my mouse gone? There it is. Okay, I mean what you'll often see is people write things like blue. Or D blue. So you see things like that. So people ask what is with, you know, these little asterisks here. That is in the international agreements, the international agreements. You can find them on ornithogenetics on Dirk's website. If you go to the website from Dirk at Ornithogenetics, on downloads, you have a brief summary of the international agreements, and that will bring you to this page here. And somewhere it explains what the asterisk means. Somewhere. If it doesn't, I'm going to look kind of silly. But basically what this is a summary of certain rules put into place when naming mutations in order to keep everybody who follows the international agreements on the same page and the same understanding when it comes to naming the mutations. I can't find the asterisks. I should have really looked at this before. Maybe it was actually in a different article. It probably was. Was it in here? No. Okay. Well, forget that. It does mean it's not a proven mutation, yeah. When you put the name between asterisks, it means it's not a certain set mutation, or the official name has not been decided for it yet, because there's further research and further testing or test breeding, or comparing it to other mutations in other species of birds or other species of parrots or parakeets. So basically, it's not confirmed yet as to exactly what mutation it is, so it doesn't have an official name. But also, it is basically for the phenotype of the bird. So I'm breeding this mutation now in the Personatus. I'm breeding, where is it? This one here. Nobody really knows what it is, or even if it is a mutation. So I'm not just going to make up a name for it. This is where all the crazy names come from, because somebody gets something different and it's inheriting. But rather, before they research and compare this mutation to other mutations in other birds, they're like, oh, I'm going to call it a name. I'm going to call it, batwing, blooming whatever. You know what I mean? So, and then as soon as you pick a name, it sticks to it then. And once it's stuck to it, difficult to get rid of. And then that's why we end up with so many different names for birds, for Agapornis. When in reality, there's not many mutations. I don't know. Maybe I had that somewhere. Link. Yeah, you're looking here at almost all of the mutations currently known in currently proven in Agapornis, and this is in all species: Rosicollis, Personatus, fishery. There's not many. There's not many. Whoop, shit. You go away. Don't know what you're doing. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 at dilute, 28, 31 mutations. How many mutation names are there out there for Agapornis, when really, when we look at, you ain't got no more than 35 proven mutations across all 9 species, yet there's probably 35,000 different names you used across the world probably. So yeah, back to the asterisks. I have I don't know what the bird's called. I don't know what that mutation is, so I will just say green mutation. Mutation means, with the asterisks, it's not proven, you're not too sure what it is. Now with the Rosicollis, we use blue in the asterisks, and that's because it's not the true or real blue mutation. It is a selection form from turquoise. Maybe the real blue mutation exists. I don't know. My wife's shouting to the neighbour. But yeah, maybe the real blue exists, but that's a different story for a different day. So people want to show these turquoise Rosicollis at a show, but through selective breeding, they've made them almost blue-looking birds. They look like the real blue mutation would. So when they're entered into an exhibition, they are judged as a bluebird. So if there's yellow spots or green spots on the bird, well, a normal bluebird wouldn't have that, so therefore it's judged down. It loses points, and it goes like that. So we call it, let's go down a font. So we say like, a real small font. Rosicollis, Significata Violet, D blue. Whoop, D blue. So if we name it something like that, too big, something like that, too big, 28, good size. If we call it something like that, we know that visually the bird should be a single factor violet D blue, but basically it's in asterisks because it's not a real mutation. This is the phenotype of the bird. So the phenotype, shut up Windows. The phenotype would be that, and the genotype, which is what the bird genetically is, would be Agapornis, Rosicollis, single factor violet, D turquoise. So genetically, that is genetically the bird would be a single factor violet D turquoise, but it looks visually blue. This is not a real mutation, it's just a visualization, a phenotype of a different mutation. So that's where the asterisks are used. Basically, it's a lot easier if I find the actual agreements, but pretty sure it was in there. Let's have a look. Or maybe they're scrapping it now. I don't know. Maybe they're scrapping it. It used to. I'm pretty sure it used to be in the agreements there. I'll try and find that for next time I do a stream. I'll try and find that, and we'll go over it then. Didn't have much time to prepare anything for today, so I can't actually can't find anything. So, what is left to talk about now? Anybody else got any questions? Anybody else? What is the proper pronunciation of Dirk's full name for us who do not speak Dutch? Just say it however you want. Most English speaking people would say Dirk. More Belgian Dutch people, it's more Dirk. I can't even do that myself. But the last name is Van den Abelen. Van den Abelen. Or something like that. What nesting material for mast do you use? I use willow branches. You can use palm fronds. Don't know if you have many willow trees around your neck of the woods. But I use weeping willow. You can use several varieties of willow, but I use weeping willow like this. Give me a good size picture. Terrible picture. Yeah, I use open image in a new tab. I use the branches from a weeping willow tree like this. Now, this stuff's these branches are great. They're actually real good for the birds. They're always found normally alongside rivers, lakes, channels, ponds, things like that, because they need a lot of moisture and they hold a lot of moisture in the branches, and that's why they're really good for birds, because they hold the moisture in there, which is very, very good for the humidity in the nest. Now, obviously, these are not available to everybody around the world, but most people use palm fronds. Excuse me. How you feel, man? Damn it. It's not going to happen. Most people use palm fronds from the warmer countries. It's possible, but with the mast lovebirds, the most important thing is to use a lot of nesting material. They like to build a big nest, and I find my birds do a lot better with a big nest. And I find when they, let me see if I can find a picture of what the nest's usually like. That's a relatively small one. Yeah, they normally might normally build nests like this. So they create like a chamber, like a dome. And they cover the top as well, but I obviously open the top of the nest so I can get inside and keep an eye on the eggs. But they close it, and when they do that, it almost creates like an almost little incubating room, and you could feel it when you open a nest. You can feel the humidity come out, and then they can control that. They obviously get that just how they want to get the best hatch results. And I do find my birds who build the big nests like this are the birds who produce the better results. And I feel a lot of people, they don't give the birds enough nesting material. But personally, I know some people breed with no nesting material and they have good results. But personally, I find my birds do better with sugarcane. I've never used sugarcane. I've never used it. But yeah, I find my birds do better when I allow them to build a big nest. Any more pictures? But yeah, most of my nests are big. And this year I have 2 birds, and these are birds who came from another breeder, and they've built nothing, just a flat nest. And obviously, you breed that into the birds. If they were born in a flat nest with no material, it's likely they're not going to know about building a nest. You see what I mean? And I noticed that. But most birds, if anybody who buys a bird from me that's from one of my lines, it should very well build a nice elaborate nest. But they all do, yeah. They all build really little bird caves. But yeah, I've got 2 pairs now upstairs which have built absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Here's another one. It's hard to say because I push the material from the top. I push it back for the photos. But they like to build a nest. And another thing, always give them fresh bath water all day, all evening, constantly, while they're building a nest and while they're sitting on eggs. Very important, because I know all my birds will take the nesting material, dip it into the bath water, and then into the nest, and I will use that bath water to maintain the humidity in the nest. So yeah, I'll use willow branches. I'll try and, don't know if I actually have a picture of the branches. I probably do. I normally make pictures of everything. Don't know. Okay, that could take a while. Albums. Probably a mobile upload. But sugarcane, no, never used that. I'd imagine they could make a nest out of everything as long as it's a soft, pliable material that they can chew and roll up. I'm pretty sure they will literally make a nest from whatever they want. Where's my branches? Don't know. Facebook is weird. I've uploaded literally hundreds of photos, and sometimes half of them just don't show up, and then the next day they're suddenly back. And get a rough idea from here what the willow branches look like. I give him the leaves as well. I give him the leaves. So, have we got any more questions? I'm off next week, I think. Next week is the test for the people who did the Agapornis course in Belgium. They have their exam next Saturday. So if anyone watches, good luck with your exam. I hope you do well. I hope you've studied and been learning all the important stuff for the test. I'll be there. Time alternatives. I think my wife is about to take the dogs for a run in the forest. Yeah, there's my willow. This is the willow branches, and I go out at evening because in the Netherlands it is illegal to go and cut down branches from trees in the public. You're not meant to do it. So I wait till it's dark, and I used to wait till it's dark and go out, cut the branches, then bring them home. And what I actually do with my willow branches, I spray them with water, normally in a shower, hot water. Spray them with hot water, shake it off, and then give it to the birds while it's still wet. They love it. They really do love it. But that's the sort of branches I give to my birds. But at the moment, I am not. I'm wondering how this season's going to go. I've just begun my breeding season, but so far this year the temperatures have been so crazy, really up and down. I'm talking like it was -9 degrees Celsius, and it was snowing, and then exactly a week later, at the same time, I'm training my dogs, and it's like 14 degrees Celsius, and I've got just my t-shirt on because it's nice and warm. And then a week later after that, it was -5 and it was snowing again. And then 2 weeks after that, it was like 28 degrees and everyone's getting sunburnt and on the beach. Oh man, the weather has been so up and down. I can see the humidity in my bird room going up and down and up, and the air pressure's changing. And so far, the eggs are hatching, but I don't think I'm going to have as good a season as I did last year. That's for sure. That's it. What should we do? Let's have a look. Posts. What's new? What's new in the bird world? What is new in the bird room? What is new in the bird world? I don't know. Let's go look at some people's photos. I've got about 10 minutes left, and then I want to go and watch the football. Let's go see what people are posting. Let's have a look. Boom. Close that. Close that. Keep that open. Latest and greatest mutation to pop out. Everybody is fascinated with the opaline fishery, and especially the opaline Ewing fishery. And yeah, can't deny it. Opaline, the combination of opaline and Ewing, it's a very striking mutation. Any striking mutation people love, you know what I mean? They absolutely love it. There's some good birds. Good birds out there. Let's have a look. Opaline Ewing. Everybody must know what opaline Ewing looks like by now. Surely. Here we go. The opaline Ewing Agapornis fishery with the complete red head and the nice green wings and the yellow back. It's like, wow. No, I think the first opaline. I don't know whether I don't know who was the first to breed opaline Ewing. Maybe he was the first to combine it. I don't know. I don't have a clue, to be honest. Who's to know? People all over the world had them. People had opaline in Hong Kong, in Indonesia, in Italy, and very quickly in other parts of Europe. It was everywhere, so who knows? Don't really know. But it is a very striking mutation. And now, me personally, I figured straight away people are transmutating opaline into personatus. And I thought, why? The black mask is going to stay, the neck and the collar will be the same. What's the point of putting opaline in there? All you're going to get is the barring on the wings and a green rump. However, an opaline U-wing personatus, it's going to be a nice bird when we see good ones. I just wish people would breed them into green first instead of blue. All the opaline personatus we see now are blue. But do it in green first. Once they're good in green, then move them over to blue. People only do it in blue, I think, because it's a shortcut. And you get quicker birds. And yeah, no offence to people, but it's true. If you cross a fishery and a personatus to transmutate, the neck will be cleaner and the mask will be darker, quicker in a blue bird than a green. So if you want to do it properly, do it first in green, then move it to blue. That's my opinion. No, that's a fact, actually. But yeah, it's a nice bird. So how long should you breed for? 2 to 3 clutches. I personally give my birds only 1, maybe 2 rounds or clutches in a year. If the pair's doing good and they breed a round, if they're looking good, I let them go for a second round. If I want them to. If I want more young. However, most of my birds I only give 1 round. Now I think about it, right? 3 clutches a year, 3 rounds a year. Let's think about that. Let's think about it, right? So she lays the eggs. Normally the eggs come every 2 days. So if she lays 6 eggs, every 2 days a new egg. That's 12 days. Average incubation period, 23 days. What else? So the eggs are incubated, then they hatch. So once they start hatching, it will take also 12 days until the last one hatches. So incubation to 23 days. How long are they with the parents? Normally, how long does a young bird need to be with the parents? I think at least 7 weeks, minimum. At least 7 weeks. Yeah, personally, I prefer my birds to go at 8 weeks or so with the parents. And I feel that they get that food at that weaning time. They get that extra food that they need to become bigger, stronger birds. So, how long is it going to be? So 2030. One moment. Let's calculate this up. Right. So, okay, if we say 7 weeks as an average that the young spend with the parents, or they should. Bit more, 50 days. And then they can go out. So that's 85 days. Right? One round, let's say 85 days to raise 1 round or 1 clutch of eggs. Second clutch would again be another 85 days. So we're looking at what, 170 days? If you want to add a third clutch on, you're looking at what, 255 days for 3 clutches. Clutches is a horrible word to type. Rounds is better. Yeah, 255 days. Now, there's only 365 days in a year, so the birds are getting what? Not a lot of rest. I think three's a lot. 3's a hell of a lot. My birds, I would say all of my birds will begin laying eggs again when they're younger, still in a nest. They all do. Get yourself a bowl of plastic eggs. Get yourself a bowl of plastic eggs. And just transfer them out. When they lay a new egg, give her a fake egg to sit on. That's what I do. That's what I do. And she has the plastic eggs, and then when they're younger, ready to go, I just simply take the nest with the eggs, everything away. She spends a day like, oh, what the hell? I was sitting on plastic eggs, where are they gone? After a few hours, she forgets about it and she moves on. But yeah, I think three's a lot. Three's a lot, personally. Three's a lot. 3 rounds a year, that is. A good bird could do it, but I think if you stick a female on three clutches per year, after 4, 5, maybe 6 years, she'll be burnt out. She ain't going to breed anymore. She'll stop breeding. She'll be a dud. I've had birds, females of 10 and 11 years old, who still raise nests of 5 young, but that's because they're not overbred. They have plenty of reserves inside them, should we say. Angelo, how's it going? How you doing? Angelo's got his exam on Saturday, so good luck to you, Angelo. Hope you do good. Hope you do good. So, what should we do now? Let's go and put that back on. I have... yeah, so... regarding the clutches, 2 clutches. Don't do any more than 2. Give them 2. Give her a good rest. Give the parents a good rest. Let them molt. Let them get some new feathers in. Let them look good. Let them feel good. Give them a rest. And I'm pretty sure if you do that and you condition the birds well, you prepare them well, and I keep hitting the microphone because I've moved it from the left to the right. If you prepare them well, you'll probably get 2 clutches of 5 or 6 young, so potentially 10 to 12 young, and that's better than 3 clutches of 3 young. You know what I mean? So patience, things like that, better results as always. Patience is a big thing with the birds. It's a real big thing. That's about it. So 10 past 4. I'm going to give it another 10 minutes and then I'll wrap up, I think. Are my birds escaping? They look like they're trying to escape. They're up to something. Oh, you got my birds. Oh, nice. What birds do you have, Dylan? Yeah, you got to do your homework, Angela. Practice for your test. Harry Benz, hello, Harry. How are you doing? My birds get everywhere. The funny thing, I was when I was judging the show in Pakistan, I was judging this bird, and I was like, I used to have one just like that. I looked at the ring, and it was my bird. It had my ring on. Obviously, I'd sold it to somebody else. They probably bred a bit, exported it to Pakistan. I went to Pakistan and I judged my own bird in the show. It was a dominant pied green, very nice bird. Apart from the dominant pied pattern was nowhere near big enough. It was only 20 or 30% pied, and you want that 50-50 blend sort of thing. Hi, Oggio, how's it going? Ah, you got them off, yeah, off James. Okay, nice. Got some good birds there, real good birds. Yeah, if you ever want any help in pairing to keep the lines going, let me know, because I have all the records, all the pedigrees of everything for those birds. So I can always give you some advice in keeping them going. There's some good lines there, some really good lines. Really, really good. Yeah, that'll be nice. They have certain features on those birds which I liked. I liked the heads, and I liked the shape of the head. Yeah, and the nails, nice dark nails as well. And that's difficult. A lot of people overlook things like the nails, and having good dark nails is it's an important one. It's an important one for sure. But yeah, if you ever want any advice on them, then let me know. You can drop the ring numbers, and I will. I'll give you some advice. Oh look, there's a bit of humpy going on in the ivory. So I'm going to assume that's a female and that's the male then. Yeah, here we go. Sorry guys, this is an X-rated live stream. I didn't intend for this. But this is why I love this camera, because all these birds in here, none of them are sexed, and obviously I can pretty much tell now that that is a male and female. Oh yeah, he's excited. Yeah, definitely, and maybe maybe Dylan in the future as well. We can swap some young birds over as well. I find it fascinating, honestly. If any of you guys are ever contemplated putting an IP camera in your bird room, do it. Obviously, the quality is a bit naff and it's a bit delayed here because I'm putting it through a stream, through the live stream. But I sit there honestly for hours. I have an app on my phone. And honestly, I sit there for hours watching the birds. It's awesome to see them interact, and it's very, very easy to see the pairs as well. I mean, I can already see that pair at the top corner. Yeah, I think it's a DD blue pastel female, male that she's with. Really good, really fascinating, and really good way of pairing your birds as well. Can I? Right, I'm going to call it in a minute, guys, because the FA Cup final is on tonight. The football or soccer for the Americans. Do you use natural selection? No, I don't know. No, I always, every single time select which birds go together, unless they naturally pair up as a pair, which I would want to breed anyway. Sometimes I have birds which are 3 or 4 years old and they've never bred simply because I haven't had a suitable partner to put with that male or that female. So quite often I won't breed them. I really don't like to breed birds unless I feel I will be maintaining the quality or improving it. Otherwise, you're just breeding rubbish, basically just to sell and make money. And I'm certainly not doing that. So yeah, if it's not a good pair, then I won't put them together ever. And I get a bit crazy about it sometimes. I stick the birds in the exhibition cages, and I put all the males along the bottom, and then I put the females at the top, and then I go like this female with that male, and that one with that one. And sometimes I will sit there for literally 2 weeks until I get the pairs which blend perfectly. At the moment, I'm only breeding with 10 pairs. You can see the camera should turn in a sec. Whoa. Really slow. My internet's been thrashed with the live stream. But yeah, breeding with 10 pairs. Excuse the horrible fly sticky tape thing, but I leave the windows open in the summer and loads of flies come in, so I have to put them up there, otherwise it becomes a problem. But yeah, only 10 pairs. I've got 12 cages, but I only want to breed with 10 pairs. That's enough for me. I don't have a lot of space. My space is limited. So maybe once I build my new birdhouse outside, I'll probably still only have 12 breeding cages, because I would just rather have the same number of birds but give the birds a lot more space to fly. That's my theory on it anyway. And I do notice birds who have a lot more space and can fly a lot more, young birds will always develop a bit better, a bit stronger. I guess they develop the muscle mass when they can fly more exercise. But yeah, at the moment, just the 10 pairs. But what I will probably do with this, I'll probably breed these 10 pairs for one round, one clutch. And then they come out, and then I'll probably put another 6, 7, or maybe 8 different couples in and let them go for a round. So usually I will breed 2 rounds in a season, but different pairs in each round. Oh, mad. I think me and James, when I went to visit James in Ireland, I think I spent literally the whole day sat in the birdhouse in like January just to select 9 couples and selected a young. But selection, it's that's what it's all about. If you want to improve your birds, you have to select the best and move forward with them. Selection is everything for breeding good birds. And to be honest, yeah, the quality of my birds is probably not as good as it was maybe in 2012 or 13. I feel my birds were better quality then. But at the moment, I've also been selecting birds based on genetic purity. I've been doing a lot of test breeding to try and develop a green line that is not split for blue. And trust me, with the Personatus, that's very difficult. But I'm getting there. But when I start selecting on genetics, the quality dwindles a little bit, yeah? Ivan, you're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm going to call it now, guys. 4:20 here. We've been going for an hour. I look for everything when selecting a bird. I look at the lines. I look at the colour. I look at the body shape, the head shape, the size of the beak, the angle, the colour of the beak. One thing I don't like is, and anybody who knows me personally will know, I hate birds with big beaks. The shape of the beak, for me, and it's like elephant birds. Really don't like it. It really puts me off. But it's not often just the shape or the size of the beak. It's often the head. If the bird has a real flat head, it's going to make that beak look huge. You know what I mean? So you need a nice rounder head. And if the head is a bit rounder and a bit full, the beak won't look as big. But at the same time, you don't want the beak coming out. You don't want it like, it should be nice and tucked in and small and pretty. And the head should go, can you even see my hands? I think you can. The head should go round, and then the flow of the beak should kind of follow it. And it should look in proportion. And you don't want a bird with big eyes, because then it makes the head look flatter. But yeah, elephant birds with the big beaks. Ugh. So I'm very, very fussy when pairing my birds, watching that size of the beak. Because once you put a bird, what causes that? No, I think it's just a lack of selection. I think people just don't pay enough attention to the beak. They're more bothered about, especially with Personatus, how clean the neck is, or how something this is, or how big the bird is, for example. But as soon as you put a big beak into a line of birds, it's very It's very easy to put it in, but it's very, very, very difficult to take it out. And even if you put 2 birds with normal beaks, with good beaks, sometimes you get a young where the beak is a little bit big. But that's the bird you don't select. He goes off in the first selection, and you move forward with the young, with the nicer ones. But pay particular attention to the beaks. And I don't mean like huge beaks, but sometimes it's just the angle. I'm not going to show any photos, because then I'll be showing photos of somebody else's birds, and I feel that's a bit disrespectful if I'm saying how horrible the beak is on the bird. So I'm not going to do that. But You get the idea, yeah? But I pay particular attention to that. And also the nails. Look at the nails of your birds when breeding them. Ideally, yeah, a darker nail. A dark coloured nail is important. But sometimes the nails are lighter. It happens, especially with certain mutations, it happens. But the most important thing is that, especially with Personatus and Fishery, the colour is more uniform. So if they're light, all the nails should be light. You shouldn't have all light nails with one or two dark ones. Or all the nails are dark and one or two are light. Okay, with Dominant Pied in the Rosicolis, sometimes you can get multicoloured nails. That happens. But keep an eye on the nails, the colour of the nails and the feet of the bird. I like to see dark nails on a green bird or a blue bird. I think it looks nice. It's the finished article for me, like the nice dark nails. That's why I love... Hold on, let me find my mouse. Mouse, where are you? There he is. So I love this bird. This is one of my favourite breeding birds because look how dark his nails are. Look beautiful. I love dark nails like that, and it's good. And he's got a nice head, and he doesn't have a big beak. He's a nice balance one. And this again, also, when I talked about the head shape and the beak shape there, see, nice and flows. The head sort of flows around with the beak, and the beak doesn't stick out there. It's nice and balanced, and for me, that's very important. In fact, I would put the shape of the head and the beak and the thickness of the head and the neck and the toes and the nails. Okay, I think I got a message. Or 20. I would put that probably before the size of the bird as well. I prefer to see a smaller bird where everything is in proportion and balanced than a big bird that looks like the Elephant Man. Personally. Bamboo leaves and branches. Where are we looking? Oh, yeah, okay. So, no problem, Edwin. Hi, Vera. How are you doing? How's the birds doing, Vera? I'm going to call it, guys, because I want to go and drink some beers and watch some football. So, it's been fun. I didn't prepare anything today. I had no little notes or anything, so I've just been talking crazy. So, yeah, and my hay fever's absolutely destroyed me, so I can't really breathe. But next time we'll get some topics in, hopefully, and have another talk about birds. It's fun. I enjoy it, and I'm glad that people come in. I'm glad that people ask questions and get involved. It's always good fun. How it should be, huh? So, thank you everybody who watched. Thank you for everyone for your questions. Thank you for everybody who will watch later on. Anyone who missed it, if you want a higher quality, you can watch it again through the VOD on my Facebook page. Link is there. You're actually on my Facebook page now watching it, so of course you know that. And I'll also put a higher quality one on my higher quality copy of this on my YouTube channel. For people to watch at a later date. Let's have a quick look back over here. See if we've still got X-rated bird action going on. Ooh. No, they've calmed down now. That's no problem. Vera, how are you doing? I hope you're good. How are the birds? It doesn't matter if you're late. Like I say, you can watch it again once I'm finished. It'll be available to watch again. No problemo. No problemo. But I'm going to call it, guys, anyway. I'm definitely going to call it now. I've said that 50 times, but now I am. So, I wish you all a fine weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. And I hope you have a good one. It's been fun. Thanks for coming. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the questions. The next time I will do a stream will probably be... Maybe I'll squeeze one in early June before I go on my vacation. I don't know. Maybe I will. If I do, I'll let everybody know on my Facebook page. But if you have any questions or any topics for the next live stream, send me either a private message or post it on my page, post it in one of the comments, whatever. Drop me an email and we will talk about it in the next live stream. Your lady, her egg should come out this week. Oh, that's nice, Vera. I wish you good luck with that. I hope there's some good young from it. I hope so. That'll be awesome. Let me know. Keep me updated on it. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Keep an eye on my page for the next live stream dates. Enjoy your weekend. Happy birding. I wish you lots of success and luck. Thank you and goodbye.